Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to be speaking this afternoon with Tyler Larson, senior offensive and defensive lineman, as well as long snapper on the Ramsey High School varsity football team. Tyler, again, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me. I really appreciate it. And congrats again on your success here the past 4 years at Ramsey High School.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Before we came on the air, Tyler, we're just talking about, I said the past year, dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the success of the team this season. You've had now said a couple weeks, over a month, to think back on the 2021 season. I'm just wondering, what comes to your mind first and foremost, Tyler?
Well, obviously, I was upset that our season ended the way it did.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm proud of our team. I thought my teammates and myself, I thought we played really well all season. Definitely a season I won't forget. But even with the loss at the end of the season, I'm still proud of us.
Yeah. I mean, first undefeated regular season since 1982. Yeah. So when you look back a year, 5 years, so many, this group, said is going to have something that they can say, hey, you know what, we accomplished this goal. Just talk about that, Tyler.
So basically, being the first team in Ramsey for a while to go undefeated, that was definitely a big accomplishment. We mostly focused ourselves for the playoffs. We didn't really care about our regular league season record necessarily, but definitely having that record during that season was definitely something nice to have. But playoffs were really our main focus.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just wondering, heading into this season, your final year there, with this senior group, any particular goal or I'm sure it is to win the state championship, but I just was wondering, with these guys that you've gone to battle with for the past 4 years, heading into the season and being able to have some sort of sense of normalcy, as said with due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but putting those pads on that Ramsey said high school jersey. Just talk about that, Tyler.
Yeah, so I'd say our goal definitely was to obviously win the championship. Yeah. But besides that, it was definitely to almost fulfill the last year's season, since those seniors didn't have the playoffs or any of that. We definitely want to make it up for them. We've played with them our whole lives, so I felt like we owed it to them to have a good season, and almost to pave a path for the rest of Ramsey High School. Yeah. We believe that every younger grade, we want to make an impression on them to go to Ramsey High School. So we almost really wanted everyone to believe in Ramsey High School and the football program and see that big things are to come.
Yeah. You were one of the 5 captains on this team. Talk about how, a prestigious honor for you, Tyler. Talk about that, carrying that role, that responsibility, sit on this team.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit, I wouldn't say scary, but it was definitely something that I had to get used to, because I've kind of always looked up to my captains or the older grades above me. Yeah. And since this year we were the oldest grade, it was kind of weird being the person that everyone looked up to. Yeah. But I feel like for myself, it was definitely nice to be named that. After so many years of hard work, I felt like I really achieved it, and I was proud to be called captain for my teammates.
That's terrific. What a dynamic offense. You talk about, I was looking at, just jotted my notes down, I think 6 games where the team scored 30 points or more. Talk about, led by quarterback, Danny Veenstra. You had, senior running back, Justin Martone. Junior Joey Liss, and sophomore running back Luca Gemma. Just talk about it on the offensive side of the ball. Just to be a part of that, the offensive line, and you be able to protect, said Danny, and then open up those running lanes, said for him, said Justin, Joey and Luca.
Yeah, so obviously as a lineman, I'm gonna give all the credit to the line.
Yeah.
But some has to go to our coach, Coach Bear. He had great play calling all season, and he utilized our weapons greatly. He had so many places where the ball could go, and with the help of a mostly senior line, he really could do whatever he wanted with the ball, and it would work.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about offensive line, everybody's got to be on the same page, as far as, your reads, your progressions, just protecting, said, again, your quarterback and then opening up those running holes. Just talk about that, I mean, I'm sure like on and off the field that you have that chemistry and, being able to, spend time with your teammates and, said, I mean, just not about talking about football, but just life in general. Can you just describe that, Tyler?
Yeah, so basically our entire team of the seniors, we've always grown up with each other. So obviously we're gonna have a good chemistry there.
Yeah.
And we've always played with the grade either above us or below us. And grade below us have played with the grade below them and so forth. Mm-hmm. So basically there's always just been a chemistry. So kind of making the connection between us as the seniors and the sophomores was really big for us because we had a new sophomore right guard, Logan Bond. Mm-hmm. So he didn't have the chemistry with the rest of the offensive line yet. So we kind of had to almost take him under our wing. Mm-hmm. And so we hung out with him all the time, practiced with him, and just really wanted to help coach him up so that he can also relay that information to really everyone else that's going to be part of Ramsey football's offensive line.
That's great. That's great. Hey, defensively, I mean, 3 games you guys held opponents to 7 points. I mean, this was, again, as you said, an experienced group. Talk about that as well on the defensive side of the ball here, Tyler.
So for our defense, we didn't start off the season too hot, but we ended up picking it up at the end of the season. It was definitely difficult having our 2 middle linebackers, one being a sophomore who didn't play until like the 5th week due to an injury. Mm-hmm. And then our other middle linebacker was a first-year player. He's a senior, and it was his first year, so that was definitely something to overcome. But I feel like as a whole, our defense was able to come together towards the end of the season, and we really were playing the way we should have the rest of the season. It was difficult at times, but our coaches and the rest of our teammates, we really had to step up to make that defense the way it had to be.
Yeah, I mean, I jotted down, you had made 34 tackles, Luca Gemma, 82, Sean Halley, 56, Ryan Gersler, 50 tackles. Talk about the postseason honors here. It said second team All-Bergen County, first team North Jersey National, NorthJersey.com National Blue Division. I know that Robbie Mendel and Justin Martone, said we're first team All-County, and then second team Matthew Ware, said Luca Gemma. I mean, that's. I mean, to see the number of players on those lists, I mean, that's got to feel good to see. Again, all your hard work, all your dedication on the field. They said, off the field in the training room, on the practice field. I mean, that's got to feel really good, for this this group of players.
Yeah, it was really an honor to be part of that, and it's almost like a bragging right to be able to say that the rest of my teammates, all those guys that were also part of those honors. Yeah. It's really nice to be able to say that they were part of it and I was playing with them by their side.
Yeah. Talk about the journey. You said, from opening night, taking that field, especially, at home, at Ramsey High School, and then senior night especially. I'm sure a very emotional night, for you, the rest of the seniors, your family as well. Just talk about, those experiences as well, Tyler.
Yeah, so for senior night, everyone says that senior year goes up fast on you and that the season flies by. Yeah. And I really never believed it until this year. Just being able to go out there with the guys that I've played with since I was 6, 7 was just really great. And then to have my entire family there, everyone else's families there watching, it was really nice. And I feel like it was a good way to almost wrap everything together, bring it full circle.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm wondering, putting that Rams jersey on, that number 56, what that represents, to you personally, Tyler.
Well, it didn't necessarily have that strong of a meaning to me at first because I started off as number 52 back when I was younger, and it just continuously got changed. I went from 52 to 54 to 70. Okay. And then sophomore year, I became 56, and I just had to stick with it. Yeah. I feel like when I became a sophomore, that's when I almost started to almost reach for my full potential. That's when I started really becoming dedicated towards football and that I wanted football to be a part of my life. Mm-hmm. So I feel like 56 has just been the number for me there.
That's great. I always was wondering about road games because those bus rides, those are some of the best times probably of your playing career in high school. I'm wondering, talk about that. These past 4 years, what those moments were like for you and the rest of the team.
Yeah, so this year we didn't really have any far bus rides, but
Mhm.
last year our opening game of the COVID year was at Point Pleasant,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
pretty far from Ramsey.
Yeah.
So definitely the bus ride there. It usually would be pretty mellow. Everyone's just getting focused towards the game. I feel like this year it almost changed. We were all super excited for every game, home or away, and it would just be really excited. Lots of energy on the bus, and then the bus ride home. Obviously,
Yeah.
the win. Everyone's excited, out of their seats almost, and just really yelling, cheering for everyone. Yeah, just great time.
Hey, you talked about head coach Adam Beyer, Bear. I said what he's been able to do since he's, taken over the reins here at Ramsey High School as the head coach on the varsity football team. There are 14, I think 14 assistant coaches. I'm just wondering, just talk about some of the intangibles and just the leadership that he has, brought to the table and been able. I mean, you see the immense level of success, for the program the last 2 seasons. Just talk about that, Tyler.
Yeah, so Coach Bear kind of came in with a team that we weren't too sure of our identity yet, and he did an unbelievable job of bringing us from around 500% team wins to, I think he was 14-2 in the last 2 seasons, which is really unbelievable. He's a great coach, and he brought in a bunch of other great coaches, and I thought they all meshed well together, and we all got along with them right away, regardless of the COVID year. And I just think the things he did for us will just continue to help us through life.
It's great. I wanted to switch to Ramsey High School itself. The support from the students, athletic director Kevin Sabella, principal Dr. Michael Thumb, vice principal Ryan Esdale, superintendent Dr. Matthew Murphy, director of football operations Preston Lawyer. Can you talk about just what those people have meant to you here these past 4 years, Tyler?
Yeah, so for the community, Ramsey football, after or during my junior year, obviously, the community and the fans at the games were limited.
Yeah.
But coming out this year for our first home game against Weequahic, there was so many people. It was really just a great thing to see.
Yeah.
One of our biggest crowds all year. So that was really nice to see. And actually, vice principal Dr. Esdale, he was helping coach at one point, which was really awesome. He was a DN coach last year. This year he didn't come out, sadly, but it was really nice to have the support from him, as he's an ex-football player. Really nice of him. And I feel like the families around Ramsey football, even like players that might have graduated already, all their families will still come out and show support. And I think the support around Ramsey football is only going to get better from here.
That's wonderful. As you know, it's just not about being an athlete, it's being a student athlete as well. And, congratulations on committing to attend and play football at Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine. Talk about, what led to, Bowdoin, College being the perfect fit and being able to continue your football career as well, Tyler.
Yeah, so I was definitely looking for somewhere to continue the rigorous courses and like grading similar to Ramsey. So I felt like Bowdoin was a great fit for me. I was definitely looking for a college that had great education, regardless of how the football is. They're a great football school, and the division that they're in is also great. But education was a huge factor for me. I believe that education can really take you anywhere.
Yeah. My apologies, Bowdoin. I said mispronounced that. You talk about. I mean, it's not easy balancing this out. With academics and athletics. I'm wondering. Everybody talks about time management, being organized. I'm wondering how you've been able to, balance that out. Especially these past 4 years, and then of course in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic as well, Tyler.
Yeah, I feel like football almost gave me a balance. Coming home from practice every day, knowing that that's when I'd have time to do my homework. I really feel like football was able to help me achieve really all the grades that I've gotten. It gave me a schedule to do, but even during the off season, it's difficult at times to either work with other sports or really anything. The balance between activities and schoolwork is an issue, but I feel like for me, the biggest factor was having a set schedule.
Yeah, no, that's true. Uh, you talked about family support before. I'm just wondering your parents, if you have any siblings, what they've meant to you here, not only these past 4 years, but just, the lead up to this moment. I mean, you said, graduating next year, I said from Ramsey High School, Tyler.
Yeah, so my dad's basically been there for me my entire football career and life. He was there the first time I tried on shoulder pads and even the last time at Ramsey High School. So he's been a great support. I have 3 other siblings, and they all play sports, so they really understand what I was like going through. 2 of them graduating high school already. It's just really nice to be able to have them to talk to. They've been through all this. They understand the sadness of necessarily having your last game as a high school student. So they understood that. And my mom, she's my #1 fan. She's always there for me, making pregame meals, all that. So they've really been a great support for me.
That's fantastic. Just have a couple more left. I can't thank you for the time, Tyler. So I'm wondering, when you were growing up, when you were younger, what any other sports you played, besides football? And then when it comes to the game of football, what makes it so special to play as well?
Yeah, so growing up, I kind of just mixed around with sports. I played baseball until freshman year, but I ended up quitting that because I never really caught on to it. It wasn't too fun for me. And then sophomore year, I began to do track and field with throwing discus and shot put. And I believe I'm going to stick with that through the rest of this year. I feel like that's something fun to do. Keeps me in the weight room, keeps me on schedule. I used to play recreation, so I stopped. And yeah, that's really it for those. But I feel like for football, it always kept me in check. It always kept me on. I've always been really good, so that could have been a factor. But I just feel like I have my closest friends all play football with me, so it's brought together a great community. And
Hello, Tyler.
hello.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just got interrupted a little bit. Sorry, the connection. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, what was the last thing you heard?
Oh no, we're just talking about the game of football. Just in terms of what makes it so special to play. Yeah.
Everyone, my closest friends all play football. It's just a great community and great connection. And I feel like without football, I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's great. Hey, I wanted to point something out, and I know you had listed this, I think, on social media, and you have a football banquet coming up, I think, next week. There's a holiday toy drive, the Tommy Strong Foundation. It's for pediatric, cancer patients at Joseph M. Sanzari Children's Hospital in Hackensack, and also the Children's Hospital at Montefiore in the Bronx, New York. Can you talk about that? I think that's just wonderful, especially here, holiday time, but just for children. Can you talk about that, Tyler?
Of course. So my entire life, I've been part of an organization where we donate toys to a kids' hospital in Hackensack, and we do it all over the holiday season. And I've done it probably since I was 10. So this year we decided to pair with the Tommy Strong Foundation, which is his brother unfortunately passed away due to brain cancer. So we paired with them, and we really just want to help kids in need and to almost bring awareness towards brain cancer among children.
Yes, that's special. That's really nice. I'm wondering, when it comes to the NFL, watching on Sundays, any players that you pay particular attention to, Tyler?
Well, I'm most of the time just looking towards my fantasy football lineup.
Okay.
Yeah, I mainly look at that,
Yeah.
try to see who I have and whoever I'm playing against. But somebody that I definitely really like would have to be Josh Allen. I just like the way he plays.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Final question before you get the last word here. Your message for younger kids, athletes out there, they're striving, to improve in football, in sports in general, and one day want to, just be like, Tyler Larson.
Definitely that hard work will eventually pay off. If you keep working, it'll eventually take you somewhere. It might not seem like it at the time, but if you keep working, good things will come.
It's great. Okay. I said a new thing I've come up here. The athlete gets the last word. Your message to family, to friends, to teammates, Ramsey High School, and the community of Ramsey as well. The floor is yours, Tyler.
I'd just like to say thank you to really everyone in the Ramsey community. They've always been there for me, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. And I love my family.
Sounds good. Hey, again, thank you so much, Tyler, for the opportunity to interview. I really appreciate it. Again, congrats on your success on and off the field at Ramsey High School, and wishing you all the best for graduation next year, and then of course ending up at Bowdoin, college in Brunswick, Maine.
Of course, thank you for having me.